Ooh, what is this? You know what this is? Saw the title to my video. Let's get that color right. Here come the letters. What do they spell? Alive. Alive. No, alien. In space, no one can hear you scream. And so we have our penultimate look at Goth-Metal lore. I am your host, and this is a nice image from Isolation. And so let's go over the timeline right now before we talk about this stuff. And I have never seen this movie. This is my first time watching. This is my second Alien movie. The first one being Resurrection, and that's I don't know why I saw. I don't know why. I think I was bored one day. Back in those days, matinee tickets used to cost $3 or $4. Now they're like 3 or 4 times as much. But back in the '90s, you could go watch Alien Resurrection. Why would you, unless you were hard for Winona Ryder or Sigourney Weaver? Congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award, Sigourney, Ziggy, whatever we call you for short. And yeah, so $3 or $4 for a matinee ticket. Now, the timeline has what? Alien versus Predator. No, Alien versus Predator 1 and 2. Then Prometheus. Then Covenant. And then you have the Ripley ones, 1, 2, 3, and 4, or Resurrection. And I guess Romulus is supposed to be in between the two. So is there going to be a deep fake Ripley? That's what I always thought. You know, based on what happened with Carrie Fisher and Princess Leia at the end of Rogue One, you get somebody deep fake him, like get a young girl, okay, you put a wig on her, and then get the right like facial structure, some prosthetics, and then you digitally put Sigourney Weaver's face over her, and it's like, oh yes, it is me. I am here, everyone. I'm just the cleaning lady. She shows up. Anyway, enough of that. So this is my first time watching the other time I was watching Alien was a high school play. It was a high school play that followed the plot of Alien almost exactly. It was really cool. It was a really nice project, and Sigourney Weaver herself gave like an introduction to that. And it was a news story that covered this. And I watched the play. It was a great play. Great play. I think those kids are now in their late 20s or mid to late 20s, but when they were in their senior year, they all put together the plot of Alien. And this was back in 2014, 2015 or so. So it was really good. Really good. So 45 years later, after this movie comes out, and what I think it's really good. I mean, this is the original. This is before The Thing. I was looking about a little bit at Forbidden Planet with Leslie Nielsen. We had B movies with flying saucers, The Day the Earth Stood Still, and the episodes of The Twilight Zone, To Serve Man, and Forbidden Planet. Star Wars had been out for a couple of years, so now I mean after Gloria Steinem and Dr. Martin Luther King losing Bobby Kennedy and John F. Kennedy, Nixon, and going through civil rights movements, and what happened to was it Salazar, the Watts riots, and drugs and drug addictions, and just going through so much crap, and who's in charge of our country. And when we see, in the case of Ripley and the crew, they're working for the government of some kind of some sort of big corporation. But now we don't trust the big corporations and the government anymore. In the 1970s, we don't trust. JFK died. We don't have our great president to say everything's fine. Don't worry. You could watch Leave It to Beaver, have a nice apple pie, and tell somebody to go fuck off, or maybe not to go fuck off, to go end themselves because you're stepping on my lawn. Don't tread on me, says the snake, right? We were like hard, tough Americans, tough hombres. We loved our John Wayne movies. But this was a dark movie. And is this goth metal lore stuff? You bet it is. It's very much like goth metal lore. It's going into that world of that spaceship, that giant ship that is out there. All they're trying to do is collect ore, collect rare metals, materials, minerals. Uh, the Green Lantern book, Earth One, that I reviewed, was using aliens as a aliens and the Green Lantern story and a little bit of sci-fi, 2010 or 2001 Space Odyssey. And it was like just inspiration. But obviously, instead of a giant alien, you had a manhunter and the power ring and becoming a Green Lantern. So if you were to combine a little bit of Star Wars and a little bit of the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds, but mostly the Alien movie, you'd have Green Lantern Earth One. But yeah, everybody's like, why haven't you seen this movie? I mean, some people haven't seen everything. I remember the announcer for the Dodgers, the senior announcer for the Dodgers, who passed away not too many years ago. He never saw an episode of The Simpsons. So what do you know? Let's look at the cast. Here we have everybody here, but everyone has passed away. The xenomorph actor has passed on. Pat, who did like Homicide TV show, he's gone. Harry's gone. So is Ian, John Hurt. These three are the only ones left alive. Tom Skerritt's in his 90s. Veronica Cartwright and Sigourney Weaver, about the same age. Yeah. And Ridley Scott, I think, is still alive. But he's never been able to recreate the magic. And I think, I don't know, I've heard Aliens is more action-packed than the first one. The first one's about atmosphere, and that's what I care more about, is the atmosphere, not the horror stuff so much. But the horror stuff is going to come with it. It has to. And I guess it was the inspiration for Metroid, the Metroid games. So it's really, I mean, just, I'd seen Kali UK play the Alien game for the ZX Spectrum, and I knew it involved a bunch of people and a cat, Jones the cat, and an alien, right? And how much was going on. So all the face hugger and I know about the face huggers. I knew about aliens since I saw parts of the movie somewhere, right? I think I saw I saw a couple of minutes of Aliens from '86, right? But I didn't see much more. And I saw a little bit of the trailer for Alien 3, and it's like, oh crap, we got Ripley with a shaved head up against the. I thought she probably died in a fire because they were surrounded by fire. I guess that's how she died, but I didn't know that until I watched the clip. It's like, oh yeah, that's how she died. She jumped with the alien into the fire. And then the first Alien movie I saw was Resurrection, which not a great movie. Then you learn, of course, that Ripley was dead and that was a clone. And Winona Ryder was a robot. So the whole thing about robots is a thing. And that whole robot scene where he tries to kill her with a rolled up newspaper is like, whoa, the things Ridley Scott came up with. The face hugger having acid. Tom Skerritt's character not wearing gloves and touching all kinds of alien, semen and shit. Like, what are you touching there? I wonder what astronauts who work on a space station would think of Alien, if they actually watched it. Or maybe Alien inspired them to become astronauts. I don't know. It's like you just watch everything around you, but you're too busy floating around in zero gravity on a space station that orbits the Earth. It's amazing. But yeah, I really enjoyed just the darkness and the atmosphere of the ship, because this was not it was not a nice place to live in. North Bergen High School. Yeah, this is really neat. So yeah, they set up this Alien the play. It was so cool. So it's a very simple movie today. I mean, by today's standards. I mean, we expect more complex stuff. More complex storylines. Yeah, she was so supportive. So that's really neat. We're not going to review the play, but I'm just showing you this. This is so cool. So, the simple direction, I mean, this is what Ridley Scott did was improve the haunted house. But instead of a haunted house, I mean, keep in mind that this also came out 1 year after Halloween by John Carpenter, who did The Thing to say, oh, I could do better than this. I'm going to do The Thing, which I'll look at later to review that. But for right now, we're just looking at this. Oh, yeah. So there's these. Oh, yeah, they did this whole thing. It was so neat. So it's time to give a grade. It's time to give a score. And what will I give? Not the play, but the original Alien movie. I shall give it an A+. A for Alien. Great stuff. I'm glad I finally got to see this movie after 45 years. I mean, I'm older than this movie. What does that tell you, right? So, Saturday we'll look at Predator. I'll review Predator. Is Predator a Goth-Metal lore movie? Find out Saturday. Such a great moment here. Check it out. The play's on YouTube if you haven't seen it.